You know what? Do one more question here. How do you keep your head in the game when one of your squad is killed?
Yeah. You know. Well, I think for me, you have to treat it like mission men in that order. And to me, there's no use, the milk is on the floor. There's no use crying over it. EOD doesn't, defuse a bomb that already went off, okay? What you got to do is try not to lose any more of your men, okay? Now you just got to do the mission with the dead guy. And I know that sounds maybe cruel or something, but there ain't no time to sit there and mourn or do any of that. You have to complete your op. You have to do your mission, right? There's plenty of time to mourn. There's plenty of time to figure out what went wrong or what didn't go wrong or whatever happened when you're back and the op's done. And that's why we train like that. When we train and we're going through a building and they put a guy down, you just step over him and clear the house because you don't want to get more than one killed. You just have to do what you've been trained to do. And in the leadership position, it's very hard not to, you can train all your life, but when something happens like that, it's very hard not to just go, oh my God, I got somebody killed. What happened? What happened? Because I take it very personally because it was one of my guys and I racked my brain for a long time. And then I figured out that, I just got to do my job and be a leader. And I can't let the rest of the guys down. I can't let myself down or my team or my country. So I got to do what I got to do to get out of there. Well, not get out of there, but complete the op. And then figure it out. Then take care of them as best we can and have a lot of respect. And that's about the best way I can answer that, bro.
Yeah, I remember after Mark got killed, and he was the first SEAL killed in Iraq. He's the first guy that ever worked for me that got killed. And I remember a couple days went by. We actually did the memorial ceremony. And like a couple days went by, and I was kind of trying to figure out what to say to the platoons. Specifically, what to say to your platoon.
Right.
And I was sort of... and I realized what I was doing, right? What I was doing was the only thing I knew how to do, which is work.
Yep.
And finally, I remember that's what I wrote down. I'm like, look, Mark, I came into your platoon and I said, hey, Mark is the best motherfucker ever.
Yeah, he was.
And my fucking soul is crushed right now. And I actually remember, as I was talking, I started getting emotional. And I stopped, and I was getting a little choked up. And I stopped talking, and I was just trying to get it together. And you were sitting there, and you're like, hey, man, it's okay.
Yep.
And I was like, check. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work.
Yep.
And this is what we're going to do.
We're going to work.
We're going to work.
When that happened, I was thinking about that. I never, ever once shed one tear. And I started getting concerned. Do I have anything, feelings at all? And then we came back from that deployment. I remember maybe, 6 months later or something. It may not sound it may shock you, but I used to like cats.
You always seem like a cat guy.
I like dogs too, just me and my girlfriend at the time had cats. And my cat died. And I bawled like a little baby for 3 hours. And I think it was just a point in me waiting for it to come out. And I'd be like, okay, because you're a team guy, you're around that stuff all the time. People getting maimed, shot, killed, and blown up, and and then it kind of festers, and then I think it's kind of deep and stuff, but whatever. I'm not really that deep of a person, and it just came out, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So maybe I was just, I took the like be hard thing a little too much probably, but